In this video, let's first discuss the exercise that we did yesterday. I have given you the sentences and I asked you to do the sentences accordingly, correct the sentences. So accordingly, we'll discuss this exercise so that you get the answers of all the sentences that were given to you in the previous video, and then we will move forward with the next video that we will be doing and discussing within this video. So here let's begin with the video with the exercises that were given to you earlier. So the exercise which I gave you in the last video, it was correct the following sentences, and accordingly the first sentence was the general as well as his staff were there. So when we are talking about general and all his staff, you can see that we have got the use of word as well as, and I told you in the proper explanation that when two nouns are there and they are joined with as well as, then you use the particular verb which agrees with the first noun. Over here the first noun is a singular general, so we will use the singular verb, and the answer will be the general as well as his staff was there, because general is singular, so was is going to be used here as a singular verb. Second sentence, plucking flowers dash are forbidden. So over here in this particular sentence you will change the word are, because we are not talking about various different flowers, we are taking all the flowers together as one particular thing, and mainly we are talking about the action of plucking the flowers. So that is why we are talking about the act of plucking the flowers, and we will take it as one act, and we will be using the singular verb with that, and that is plucking flowers is forbidden. So I hope you get this answer. Plucking flowers is forbidden. Third sentence, neither John nor James were present in the school yesterday. If you remember, I told you with the words neither, nor, either, or, you don't use the plural verbs, you use them in the singular. So that is why we will use the singular verb instead of were, we will use was. Neither John nor James was present in the school yesterday. Fourth sentence, the secretary and treasurer take a walk every evening. So here we are talking about the word takes is going to tell about the plural, but since when there are two articles, then we think that there are two different people. So therefore we are going to insert the article. The secretary and the treasurer take a walk every evening. If it had been one simple person, then it would be the secretary and treasurer takes a walk every morning. So you have two answers, you can use it both ways, but since we have to correct the sentences as per the verbs, so that is why instead of adding the, we will just make that take as takes. The secretary and treasurer takes a walk every morning. Fifth sentence, the scholar and the poet is dead. So here we know that there is a particular use of the word is, so that means this is going to be one same person. So here we are again going to remove the word the and make it as the scholar and poet is dead. This is one way of doing it, but if you are supposed to write the answers only according to the change of the verb, then in that case you will not remove the word the, instead of that you will make it as are, because then it will be that both the people have died, they are two different people. The scholar and the poet are dead. Sixth sentence, John as well as Tom are waiting for you. Over here you will make it as John as well as. Here I told you with the word as well as we use the single verb with the first noun. If the first noun is single, over here John is obviously single noun, so that is why we will use the single verb. John as well as Tom is waiting for you. Seventh sentence, Mohan with his friends were caught. Over here we are mainly talking about one subject, that is Mohan. So over here your sentence is going to go with the one single subject, that is Mohan, and the verb will also come in the singular. Mohan with his friends was caught. Eighth sentence. Every boy and every teacher have their own books. The word have goes in the plural sense. So here with the word every, we use singular verb as I told you. So therefore we will use every boy and every teacher has their own books. Next is going to be your ninth sentence. The study of mathematics require brains. So over here it will be the study of mathematics requires brains. Over here one person, so that is why the word require will come into the singular form with requires. Require is basically a plural form of the verb, so it will be requires. 10th sentence. Every one of the men were punished. With the simple thumb rule, we can say with the word every, we are going to talk about one single in the singularity or in the individual thing, about every individual. So here we are saying every one of the men. Whether the word men is in the plural, still we are going to use the verb in the singular form, and instead of writing were, we will write was. Every one of the men was punished. Hello students, in this video we are going to do one more exercise regarding agreement of verb with the subject. So as I told you, where you have to use the verb in singular and where you have to use the verb in plural, we will be doing the following exercise, and related to that only I'll be discussing the answers here only, so that you are ready with all the sentences as well as their answers. So let's discuss the exercise over here. It will be an exercise for you to study, understand, as well as do it in your fair copies also. If you are maintaining the copies accordingly, please make sure you write the date accordingly. So here it is. Fill in the blanks. In each of the blanks, put a verb in agreement with its subject. So the first sentence is, the Lions of the East dash an interesting book. Now here if you see the sentence, it is the Lions of the East. This is the name of the book, and that is why we are talking about lions, but it is just one name, one title and one book. So the verb will be in the singular form, and therefore it will be the Lions of the East is an interesting book. We are not talking about books, we are talking about book. Second sentence, Mohan with his brothers and sisters dash present here. So here the main subject is Mohan, and that is why we are going to take a singular verb with it, and so the sentence will be Mohan with his brothers and sisters was present here. It is not that brothers and sisters are in plural, so we'll use the plural verb. We'll use the verb with the agreement of first subject, that is singular, and Mohan. Mohan was. Third sentence is, no news dash good news. News is always taken as, the word might suggest you that it is in the plural form, but it is not plural. All the various informations together form one particular as a news bulletin. So here we are talking about no news is good news. It is just the idea of information which is taken in totality. So it is singular. The sentence is no news is good news. Third, after that, fourth sentence will be the origin of Hindu manners and customs dash unknown. So we might be talking about various customs and manners, but they are all relating to one religion, and we are not talking about the various customs and traditions and manners. We are talking about the origin of that particular thing. So that is why again we will take it in the singular form, because we are not talking about the origins. We are talking about the origin of the entire thing together. So it will be the origin of Hindu manners and customs is unknown. Next sentence, fifth, either John or I dash to blame. So when you have either or, you usually use the singular form of the verb. And so the sentence will be either John or I is to blame. After that, next sentence, sixth one, curry and rice dash his favorite food. I gave you one of the example also, that was bread and butter. So when bread and butter we are talking about, they are talking about one wholesome food. Over here we are talking about one of his favorite dish, and this dish might contain two different things, but we are talking about one particular dish which has both of them. So that is why we will be taking the idea of one dish, and so it is again going to be singular. It is curry and rice is his favorite dish. Sorry, his favorite food. Next sentence is the committee dash divided in their opinion. We might have the committee as singular as plural, both the ways. I told you what will be the difference while using the verb. If the idea shows a division or something where different opinion, different thoughts, or they are considered to be of different mindset, then it will be taken as plural. If they are giving one particular notion, one idea, one thought, or they are of one mindset, it will be taken as singular. Here we see the committee divided. So that is why we will use it in the plural. The committee were divided in their opinions. Remember, the word opinion is also taken in the plural. It is opinions. Next is the chief with all his men dash killed. If you remember, I gave you one of the example earlier in the previous module, the king with all his ministers. It is just similar to that only. We are talking about the subject that is in singular, and the words and the subject is over here. In that sentence it was the king, over here it is the chief. We are not talking about the chiefs and his men. We are talking the chief, so it will be in the singular, and verb will also go accordingly in the singular. The chief with all his men was killed. After that, next is every man, woman and child in the village dash wounded. So here we are talking about every man, every woman, every child, and we will be talking about them in singularity. Every individual. So that is why the verb will also go with the individuality or the singularity in the singular form. So every man, woman and child in the village is wounded. It will not be every man, woman, child are wounded. Every man, woman, child in the village is wounded. As we know, with the word every, each, either, neither and many are. So we use singular verb with all such words. So we will follow the same pattern. So I hope you've got all the answers. We've discussed one more exercise regarding this, and I would suggest if you do more of these exercises. Language is just like your mathematics. The more you practice, the more you get clear with your fundamentals regarding the sentences and what and how the words have to be placed, and the grammatical errors are to be rectified. So that will come to you. You will understand that only when you practice it, even you can say regular, or maybe within a short gap. You keep revising the exercises again and again, and you will be able to brush up your your fundamentals, and it will be clear to you. So with this notion, we will end up this exercise, and we will take up new chapter, new topic in the next module. So till then, keep working on this particular exercise. Whichever book you might be able to find, go through that and start practicing your agreement of verb with the subject. And then we will move on to the next topic. So with this, we come to the end of the module.